Okay, we are going to show a practical case how to set up HUB30. In this case, we have connected two laptops. One is connected to the first source via USB-C. The other is connected to the source number 3, connected via USB A to B and HDMI. And in the number 4, we have connected a sunroom solution. Or could be an MTR. It's the same. That is connected via HDMI and USB. Additional to this, we have in the room one CAM 550 that we are going to use as a front camera that is connected via USB to the HUB30, and also is connected via IP to the same network that the HUB30 and the CP10, and in this case my computer, but we can do the full setup using CP10, are connected in the same network. We have a TR315 that is an auto tracking camera that we are going to use as a rear camera to do the auto tracking of the presenter, and is connected via USB to the HUB30 and connected via IP to the same network that we have the computers and everything. The last one is a phone 540 that, in order to integrate the control of the phone 540, is also connected via USB and IP to the same network. As I mentioned, you can do all the setup using the CP10, so you don't need a computer, but in this case, to record, we are going to use my computer. So the first thing, we are going to go to the AVer device utility to search all the devices that we have in the network, but because we are looking for the HUB30. In this case, it is our HUB30 that, of course, we can use this menu to change the IP, to change to the SCP. If I double click, we are going to open these windows to access to the setting. So the first setting that we can do, so from this moment, we can start using the system. So we can access here and we can change the different inputs, outputs, and everything. Okay, for example, now I'm switching from one computer to the other computer, but in this case, I'm going to set back to my unit. So you can change the displays and do everything. So regarding to the connection and everything, you don't need to do any special setup. If we go back to the settings, we can see here, we have in the status, we have all the version and everything. And for example, you can see that in the input 1, we are connected via USB-C, we are connected at 4K 60, and we are charging the computer via USB-C with power delivery. Number 2, we don't have anything. And number 3, we have connected my computer, is also 4K 60, in this case using USB-B and HDMI. And in number 4, what we have is a sunroom solution, okay, that is connected via USB and HDMI. For the outputs, we have two displays that, in both cases, 4K 60, as you can see here. Well, here is detecting the different peripherals. If we have, for example, we have the touchback connected, you can see here. If we have the extender, because it's a HUB35, we can see here the status. In this case, it's a very simple setup. So if we go to the settings, of course, we can change the name of the room. So we can edit. In this case, we are going to put Tres Cantos. That is our office. We save. And it is going to be the name that you can see in the CP10. Here you can see the inputs, and you can play with the different resolutions. In this case, it's to the maximum. And also here we have some display control for the, if we want to enable the sec command and so on to control the TV. For the wireless sharing, we can generate a random personal number if you want. And here we have the interesting Connect AI function. That is where we are going to configure the front and the rear camera. Let me skip this part and we go to the peripherals. Here in the peripherals is where we are going to add the cameras and the audio system that we can control from the CP10, from the hub, and also we can use the Connect AI. As I mentioned, in this version, we have connected cameras and a speakerphone via USB and IP. In the future, it's not going to be necessary to do in this way, but at this moment, in this version, we need to connect both USB and IP. So I'm going to add the two cameras. So I click Add Device, I click Detect. It's going to take some seconds to find the device in the network and also in the system. So for example, here we are going to select the TR, we confirm, we need to put the username and the password that we have. I don't know if I connect properly, no. Now it's okay. Is connected. So we have the auto tracking camera is connected. Here we can do some setup, but now we are going to add a second device. I click again, detect. And I need to select the camera that is the CAM550 that is connected to the system. In this case, I have two CAM550, but we are going to use only one. Let me check if it's that one or is the other one. Let me take a look. Let me detect to ensure what is. I have disconnected one of the two to make sure that I detect the proper one. So in this case, confirm. Again, I need to put the user, the password. Okay, so we have the two cameras, and I'm going to add also the audio system. In this case, is phone 700 that is integrated with this system. Phone 540 is a speakerphone, table speakerphone that we can use in medium to large rooms. It is true that all the devices I previously set up in the same network, okay, and I changed the password and everything. So now I have microphone, speaker, because it's a speakerphone, and I have two cameras. If I have touch screen and touch screen, we have the CP10 here that is already set up. It's in the same network and is already paired with this. So now we can go again to the settings and we can enable the Connect AI. And at this moment, we are offering the solution for front and rear. In the future, we are going to have more interesting AI modes. So I'm going to select as the front camera, I'm going to use the CAM550, and the rear camera, I'm going to use the auto tracking. In the auto tracking, of course, I need to define the up to 4 areas. In this case, I have selected 3, and we are going to define the 31, the 32, and the 33. They are different presets. So depending where the presenter is moving, I already create this, but you can save from here. So when we do this, the only that we need to do is to close this. It's already configured, okay? So we click save, and it's automatically done, okay? Then we can go back, and you can start, of course, using the system by clicking all the sources and everything, or you can go to the room control, and in the room control, remember that you can control the multiple cameras here. You can move, you can zoom in, zoom out, call the presets, save presets, everything that you want. And if it's an auto tracking camera, you can enable, disable tracking. And of course, during a call, you can mute or unmute, or you can increase, decrease the volume and do what you do. Okay, you can see that I can control this. In this case, I'm using my computer, but you can do exactly the same by using the CPT. Okay, so if you want to enable the A mode is going to create a very interesting situation. In this case, when the people is in front of the CAM550, is going to do an auto framing and is able to frame all the people's face. And if anybody go in front of the auto tracking camera, the system automatically will switch to the auto tracking camera, and it's going to track. And when this person go back to the table, the system, the HUB30, automatically will switch to the CAM550. During the presentation, what it's doing is a picture-in-picture between the CAM550 and the TR315. We only need to enable here. When we enable in this mode, then the difference is that in Teams, for example, if we enter in Teams and we go to the devices, instead of selecting directly the devices, you can select in this mode the HUB30. Okay, so you have here selected the HUB30, and you can select as an input, you can select the phone 540. it is the same. And the last thing is that here, instead of selecting the individual camera, you need to select HUB30. And in this case, there is no body in front, and it is the reason it's not doing the functionality. But if somebody entering this area, is going to start the presentation as we are now, or if anybody sit on the other side, is going to automatically freeze. So instead of selecting the individual camera, we select HUB30, that is the AI processing of the two cameras that are connected to the system. So basically, it is all the setup that you need to do in HUB30, HUB35. Remember that you can use to control the inputs, the outputs. It is the switching part or the wireless setting. To do wireless setting, the only that you need to do is to click here as a source, and then by opening the room management, that room management is running in my computer. I can open room management. I can go to AVer Search. AVer Search automatically is going to look for all the devices that are in this network. So if you are in the same network than this device, automatically you can select what device you want to share, as we show in the previous video. Okay.